Hey guys, how's it going? March the 10th, 2020. So it's 10:08 p.m. I wasn't going to do a live stream, not this late at night, because usually I want to have a drink or something like that to soothe my throat. I don't know what it is. Maybe it's lying in the recliner, or I talk loud, or I don't know what it is, or I keep talking. And like doing speeches or stuff like that is not good for my throat, at least. And drinking late at night is probably not the best idea either. But anyways, so it's I know whenever I post a message or put yourself out there, whether it's speculation, whether it's posting a message called the elephant in the room, that maybe that there's something that is preventing Run8. Like there's a resource limit that they can only go so much bigger, when I've seen evidence that supports that. AI takes up resources. I don't care if it's a 32-bit, 64-bit, Commodore 64, whatever the hell it is, it takes up resources. I also know a little bit about programming. I'm not an idiot. Okay? Just because I'm not out there programming something right now, or I haven't accomplished much in recent years, decades for that matter, other than a loosely built beta program that people still ask me when's the next version coming out, because people want to see it. And very recently I said, I have an idea. Hey, Bill. And I'm not going to type, I'm just going to talk. So, I'm like, okay, well, so I've got, I want to get into it, and then I find ways of not getting into it. The worst part about it is Sunday is when I have the most time, but emotionally, Sundays just drain me. I have my own personal life. I have my own job. I have a son who I see, despite the fact he's upstairs, that where I see him the entire weekend, and then suddenly it just goes quiet. And for the longest time, Run8, YouTube, whatever, used to be that little soothing way of getting through it. Kind of like therapy. So I've done the Run8 stuff for years. It's gotten through me very many Sundays, especially back in the days when I was either not working, and I wouldn't see my son for a couple days when I was living away from here. Now I live in the basement. Or even when I had another job where I had to commute all the way to Oakville, and had to sit in traffic, and might get an hour or two, or when I worked midnights and I had to come home, go to bed at the middle of the morning and try to arrange a schedule to see my son. Those were tough times. I got it easy now because I like my job. So I'm fortunate. I like my job. I wouldn't do it for free, but I like my job. So I do this channel. I keep the RTS brand alive because I do want to do something with it. But right now I don't have the motivation. I'm doing okay money-wise. I'd love to do better, but I don't have the motivation. I don't have the skill set in today's programming environment to do the things that I really would have to do unless I took the time to learn a lot of new skills, which I could if it was that important to me. But I've never liked programming. So recently, I saw an opportunity to finally get back to RTS 2. And while it's nice to get back to, I still, at some point, was trying to go through all the options and thinking, I wonder what Run8 is going to do next. I wonder if when they talked about small regions coming or something like that. I remember them saying that. But a lot of times I remember them saying something, then I'm told I never said that. So it's he said. So I'm not going to go back in the forums and check what was said. But what I do know, and I posted this on TrainSim tonight in response to John Greenstone's interesting little tirade or whatever the hell it was about killing speculation. That was, I guess, him taking time out of his busy life and all that other stuff to give everybody else an update and worried about a small fish like me. I'm nothing. Take a look at the views on my YouTube channels. Are you kidding me? I mean, if I'm that much of a threat, I understand back in the time, when RTS was bigger, if I was saying stuff like that. Hell, I got kicked out of the beta team because I dared show a video of an explosion. And guess what? I wasn't doing it to show the video of the explosion. I did it to show my followers how to get around it. It was education. It was tutorials. But yet that was somehow conceived as me trying to bury the product or being harsh on the product or something like that. Now I don't want to go back to there's a lot I think there's a lot of sour feelings. I thought this was water under the bridge because really, just because I'm critical, it has nothing to do with that. I could care less about all that stuff. I could care less about the old servers that used to be around that no longer exist, some of the mega servers, and the infighting between different people, including myself, and the alliances that were made by various people and servers. It still happens. And perhaps, honestly, I got nothing bad to say really about Run8 Depot. I'll say them by name. I got nothing really bad to say about them. But I know the reason why I'm not at Run8 Depot is because I had administrators, some administrators who were fair, other administrators who didn't like me being critical of Run8. And it was constructive criticism. It wasn't bashing. It was constructive criticism. Or no, I'm sorry, it wasn't constructive criticism. I believe it was speculation. Speculation on version 2 at the time, if I recall. And you weren't allowed to do that. I'm like, why can't I? Because there's not that much information out there. Why can't I speculate? I'm not a news reporter. I'm not a member of the media. You know how much fake news is out there? Do I go posting videos and saying, this is why Run8 doesn't do that? No. I might mention some things or mention some ideas or mention something along the lines of, oh, hey, wait a minute. That's interesting. That Smiley, who is over running a Northeast server didn't want to put in switching tracks, or what I call dead tracks that were used reporting. Something people do not do, or maybe people have found out they can do by maybe watching my channel. There's a lot of ideas, by the way, that I've been told by a lot of different people. And, you know, I have a lot of friends. I don't have many friends. I have very few friends. I have many acquaintances, and I still have very, very many people. You know, I wouldn't say many. Many isn't. I would say a handful of people who are a part of different communities that could easily give me information if they wanted to. And they've been and there've been people who have literally wanted to be part of these communities, but because they were associated with me, they were looked down upon. Like I'm some kind of bad person. Because they could give information to me. And yeah, sometimes I wanted to get information. So I could care less if people take my information or take some of my ideas and go try it on their servers. I could care less. But this is done. I've seen evidence of it. No big deal. Why not? If I got a good idea, I don't have patents. I don't make money off of this. Who cares? Go kill yourself. But I'll say one example. And it's not practiced very often. And the reason why it's not practiced very often is because it causes issues. And I didn't know this because I've never hosted a server that had too many of these in there. The bowl in Barstow, for whatever reason, I haven't had this issue, but I'm not sure if it was because there was less industries or what the case may be, but I didn't have the issue in Barstow. Where I first started running into an issue was in Waycross. And I didn't consider it a bug. We were warned. We were warned ahead of time. Don't fill the bowl. Okay. Well, that's as real as it gets. So yeah, you know, I'm not going to fill the bowl, but I'm certainly going to maybe, you know, I'm going to use all the tracks to sort. But the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to use a method called what I call dummy reporting, where you basically make a bunch of fake industries. And you make the fake industries to report tracks. Now, I don't know if I've never tried. I had at least one report of somebody who humped without those and somebody who humped with them. And they found, and this was over on the F&T server, which is the Northeast server, they found that when they, in the Southeast, added industries, that's when issues began to happen. And these are fake industries. These are multiple fake industries. Waycross has a huge amount of yard tracks. You can get away with it. No, I'm not part of the media, Scott. Yeah, version 2. Yeah, I know. I've said so many times how I've got my money's worth a long, long time ago. Run8 doesn't owe me anything. I should have posted that tonight. Run8 doesn't owe me anything. They don't owe me an update. They don't owe me explanations. They don't owe me nothing. It's in Run8's best interest, however. And for me, personally, I want to see Run8 grow. I want to see Run8 continue to grow. You think I'm out there to hate Run8 or I want to kill Run8? Are you friggin' kidding me? And if these people, I don't care if it's John Greenstone, and if you're a minion or whatever, or anybody who wants to be feeding information and have an IP address from California, hey, guess what? Go tell them. You want me to email them? I don't need to email them. They got my email. They got a problem with me. They could have sent me a private message. I wasn't attacking Run8. Was I speculating? Yep. Was I repeating information that was, Quincy mentioned something about 32 and 64 bit and XNA, and I was just like, okay, well, maybe he knows more about it than me. Whatever. Sometimes you repeat things you hear because you don't know, but the bottom line is I don't care if it's XNA, ABC, XYZ. I don't care what the hell the game engine is. Whatever is happening, the more industries you get and the more AI you get, the bigger the regions seem to have more issues or more resources. Now, does that mean it's just a matter of me having to update my memory or something like that? Or I just don't have the specifications, or you can't play and run single player or like a big huge world in single player? Maybe that's all it is. Or you can't host like with a few friends and run a big huge region? That's possible. But to say that, somehow I've never said that, or never thought that people need time by themselves or family. When version 2 first came out, I said, these guys deserve a break. Now, I didn't, and they still had updates, but the updates started slowing down, and then there was really nothing more to update. I mean, you get the odd update here and there. And by the way, and my memory's bad, but I do remember talk about smaller regions. I still, to me, I remember something about opening up the editors. I remember that term, opening up the editors, or opening up some editors. Well, I was told, and I believe John replied to me in one of the train sim forums, that he never agreed to that. Well, what the hell's the software development kit that was advertised for 1 full year on Run8's website? What the hell's a software development kit then? Everybody called it the editors. Everybody thought they were getting the editors. That was in version 1. But John apparently was totally against editors. I understand from a business point of view that if you're against the editors, you want to keep everything in-house. I totally get it. Maybe it was too big. Maybe it was just too big for them to handle and they wanted to concentrate on their creativity or whatever. So be it. Maybe they want to spend more time with their family. Some work jobs. Some have health issues. They don't need that added shit. And like it's I mean, I saw the post tonight, right? And I thought to myself, and put it this way, it was getting out of hand. Scott was stirring the pot like crazy. But Scott's, if anybody stirs the pot, Scott really stirs the pot. But he's like, I saw him and he was like, oh my god, you're just trying to get in trouble. I'm laughing at it because I know I even suggested, out of the goodness of my heart, I even said maybe you should lock this thread. And I was gonna you know what I was gonna do? I was gonna post into another thread. I was gonna post another thread and try to change the subject from instead of elephant in the room, which kind of ran its course, to something more constructive. But then tonight there was another thread about rumor killer blah 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 that John posted. And I think I've been in trouble for posting similar messages, at least in the tone. But I don't think it was attacking anybody, but in a way it kind of was, because a lot of people, the majority of the people, don't have a freaking clue as to what the hell that was all about. But guess what? The source of that attack was this forum. That was an attack on this forum. That was an attack on my YouTube channel. Whoopee doo. I mean, really? Am I that big of a threat? Give me a break. I mean, and this is like, as far as for me, I'm like, I finally got my sleep patterns going. See, I have health issues too. Okay, the Run8 team's not the only one that has health issues once in a while. Okay, maybe mine's not so severe, but we all have our own issues. We all have our own lives. We have our own jobs. We have our own hobbies. We have our own families. Okay, I don't make a cent off any of this. I keep saying that. But how many times do I have to say in every friggin' YouTube channel or every friggin' video that Run8 is the best train simulator on the planet? The only reason why they are the best train simulator on the planet is nobody has been able to challenge them. Period. TSW is a joke. I was thinking about going to TSW when I thought, well, maybe they're learning, maybe they care. They don't give a rat's ass about them, but making more money. That's all that Dovetail Games cares about. They are not what I would consider. You talk about, I mean, wow, I'm not even a customer of theirs. Now, am I attacking people who might like it? Whoopie doo. I don't know. I don't care. You like it? Have fun. I don't care. None of my business. But I ain't going near it. I'm not bothering with that. Are you kidding me? I got videos from guys, like some of the people that I know. Videos of basically them following trains through Hamilton. Real live footage. That's more valuable than the game, because at least that's real. Driving, you know what I started doing? I started driving up to Hamilton. My son and I, we did it a few times. Started following trains in there, and my son says to me, he says, "Well, one thing that the TSW Oakville sub did is it got us into Hamilton. It got us more interested in the operations of Hamilton." I said, "Yeah, you're right," because it did. Before that, we didn't really touch Hamilton that much. We're only 30 minutes away. But we've gone up there a few times. I think I've had my, my fair share of Hamilton for now. I'm not really that much interested in going up there just to see a bunch of switchers running, but it's a very vast environment there. We were there a few weeks ago last. But yeah, it got me back into what's really going on there, because guess what? I mean, I could follow all the YouTube streams I want, and I can see every activity. All I have to do is follow anybody's YouTube channel, and honestly, I stopped watching it. After it started going through some of the activities, and TSW has you. I mean, they have their tutorials. They have some great tutorials. Unloading some of the weight off their shoulders. Well, it's their product, yeah. Yeah, and I agree, Blake. Why can't they have control of what goes out under their name? They can. Here's an easy way that they can do it. And if we were part of the overall community. Hold on, I'm just reading more. Yeah. Well, I mean, I take things personally. Nobody wants to be told their baby's ugly. Okay? But the thing here is nobody's saying their baby's ugly. All I've been saying is maybe there's an issue with why they can't move on as fast as they would like. Maybe there's a reason. When nobody gives information and gives an update once a year, or they say about a year ago, a year prior to this, we were expecting an update around the new year. By the end of the year, I think it was. And then we got an update this past around Christmas saying it's going to be at least a year. So that was another year. At that point, I was like, wow. Well, at least we know. It's good to know. So now I'm like, okay, well, I'm not going to worry about version 3 because it may never see the light of day. As far as Run8 being dead, I've never said Run8 itself is dead. I think it's dying, but I'm talking community. I'm not talking about the program or whatever. I don't know what the hell's going on with their programming. I don't know what they're doing or what they're busy doing. So I'm just reading here. Well, I can't speak about delegating, and honestly, I'd be treading on thin water if I said no. Let's keep myself out of this for a second. How do I say this without getting into trouble, which is absolutely stupid. Yeah. Okay. Let me think about this for a second. So there's an easy idea that I can say right now that they probably may have never heard of. I don't know. Plenty of room for improvement, sure. Yeah, and so will I. But honestly, as much as it puts a bad taste in my mouth, this kind of reactionary messaging, like, it's like, come on, get a grip. You got somebody, anybody can go on. I don't care. People can say whatever the hell they want to say on my forum. Did I lock content? Did I edit it? Did I delete posts? Did I do anything on my forum? No. I don't give a damn. I don't police my forums. Free speech here. You want to talk? You want to go anonymously? That's fine. I will tell you, and I will say that it's a California IP. If that means anything, that could mean anything. California's a big state. I mean, run to your own conclusions. Not everybody lives in California either. Some people don't even live on this continent. But anyways, yeah, we got our monies long time ago. But the elephant trying to clog my toilet bowl. Oh my god. But yeah, here's an idea that I had a long time ago, and I don't know if I shared it. But I thought the best way to do it in an editor would be to have something, like, in other words, in order not to create a community, or in order to create a new market that they couldn't control, what you could do is you could have save slots. Let's say 5 save slots on your system. Those save slots would be coded, and they would be matched into your key. So they couldn't be used on any other system but yours. So in other words, they could only be used in single player. They couldn't even be used for multiplayer. The whole idea is to try something, you know, playing around with assets, trying to play around with different things to get it going, and build a world that you were happy with. Now, that's being really, really limited, because ideally you would want others to share it. The problem is if others could share in that world, what happens then is when others can share in that world, you're now defeating the purpose of them controlling or getting a piece of the pie when it comes to revenue. When it comes to getting a piece of the pie for download content. So you save, you have it, you build the world, you build your assets, your 3D assets, you put it all in, and you're able to do that kind of thing. And then you submit it to Run8. Run8 gets to take a look at it. You continue to support it. If Run8 feels it's worthy, they endorse it, and they receive a percentage of the proceeds to host on their server. So they can then host you know, put the whole do the whole pay structure, and Run8 could send you royalties, or vice versa, or some type of mechanism. It could easily be done. It would instantly, the more content is king. I forget who said that, but that is a quote. Content is king. It is why Microsoft Train Simulator under Open Rails is still alive today. Although it is slowly dying, it is still one of the biggest things out there because of content. So if you wanted to say you wanted to do something for free, well, then you wouldn't have to pay for the you know, you wouldn't have to pay for the whatever, but you would have to give Run8 a fee for providing a free software or something, or pay some type of fee to allow them to host a download of a new of something on their site. So in other words, being a contributor, you want your friends and everybody else to see it. Howdy, Australia. I got Australia. If Smiley comes on here, we have New Zealand. But yeah, so you would be able to. There's a lot of ways you can do it. They would have control of it. Now, if they decide, well, we don't want the editors, okay, that's fine. There's other ways around it too. There's third-party developers, and I think they've had some bad experiences with third-party developers. I remember a Chicago thing that kind of went tits up. And that was a big project, and I don't know what happened, but it seemed like something was going on. I don't know what, but all these things take resources. They take manpower to debug, and then when you have stuff that doesn't work, and I understand the headache it gets to try to support something that is big. But this is why you have people that can support their own roots, and they become responsible. That to me is more powerful than third party, because then you can do it. But hey, who am I to say how Run8 should run their business model? That's their business. It's their business. They can do whatever they want. Who am I to say what Run8 should do with their their image or their media? They're getting their image out there. Unfortunately, it's people like me that have had a long-standing channel, and I think this is where the threat is felt, because I'm a polarizing figure, I guess. I don't know, that I somehow give Run8 a bad image, and unfortunately, it's the standoffish attitude that gives it a bad image, especially if people follow my channel and follow my streams and follow my posts and realize that I am supportive of Run8. I'm not against Run8. I want the Run8 to thrive. I want Run8 to grow. You know what I mean? And so does everybody that I know of. Everybody that I know of in this community, I don't have very many friends. I have plenty of acquaintances, but I'll tell you something. Everybody that I know of wants them to grow. They want to. They don't. They're not. It's not that they're impatient to see the next release. I mean, yeah, everybody wants to see version 3. I just want to see it get better. I want to see new. I want to see more content. And I'm not talking about download contents. I don't need to see 1001 rolling stock. Okay, yeah, I know some people like it. Great. If you feel there's a market for it and you want to supply it for them, hey, go at it. Have fun. If you want to develop add-ons to a region that is already friggin' huge, that's your choice, and I'm sure there's a market for that too, because there's a lot of people that can do it. Have at it. What I'm saying is one of the things that was talked about probably 2 years ago at this point now, or at least a year and a half. The one thing that was talked about was small regions. And I believe I mentioned it. I was the one that came up with an idea. Again, constructive ideas. Have some more small regions that are more friendlier to single players and smaller groups. And don't get me wrong, I've had plenty of people. John, with one of the last updates, he I believe he put in a bunch of new spawn points. That was okay for a while. But guess what? As much as that's good for a single player or a small group, trying to attract people to only get part of a route is not very feasible. You're not going to get that many people interested in running because they want to run the full route. They want to run the full thing. So what do next? You find a smaller region. You find your own region that has its own size, and you go in there and you just do your thing. Let's see. So yeah, content's king. Let me see what Scott said there. Yeah, and there's there would be complications. I think, Scott, but there's ways I think that they can do it, but they've, for whatever reason, that's something that they probably considered. They never went down that route, and it's okay. They're not, I think, what was it, Apple or whatever the example was, or somebody else can do it. These guys are a small group, very small group. And they already are supporting. They're very supportive. Scott will tell you that, because Scott was being helped out with an issue that he had. Nobody says, nobody has ever said that they don't support. Heck, if I was to ever if I was to ever have an issue, I'd be emailing support at Run8. I don't know if I would get the help, to be honest, considering I seem to be ruffling a lot of feathers as of late. Again, what else is new? But this is what happens every time I start getting critical. You can't get critical of Run8 without feeling the wrath. And I remember a lot of criticism in the beginning of Run8. Back when I was on the beta team, I remember a lot of criticism, and I just remember how the Run8 forums and how a lot of criticism was shut down as if it was all negativity. And there was a lot of negativity, don't get me wrong. But, I was part of the team, so I just towed the line, so to speak, did my thing, and just, played ball. And I was fine with that. I was fine with that role. My role wasn't to, start questioning or whatever. But I have attacked people who have been blatantly hateful on transom forums, and in fact, there's a person right now. I've seen a lot of hate. There's a person, I'm not going to get into names, but there is a person who is still posting today who is very supportive of Run8, who was once very, very hateful of Run8. So, I mean, let that sink in. And it's kind of weird because now I'm supposedly the hateful person. I'm not the hateful person. I'm not the one, spreading false information or whatever the hell it is. Yeah, there's speculation. Yes, there's, wondering if whatever. All it takes is a simple indication by somebody to say, no, that's not the case. If somebody somebody was to come to their support, that's fine. But transom is got its own little universe that's separate from the big boys. But at the same time, it's still very highly patrolled, and you got to toe the line. You can't push it too much. Blah blah blah. I've been there. I've had my share of trouble. I'm very careful with what I post. This is why I just go onto my forum and I go onto YouTube if I want to speak my mind. Long comment got interrupted and disappeared. Yeah, Blake, I appreciate that. I'm glad I'm the reason I have Run8. And you know something? I have got you and many other people I've brought into Run8. And this is kind of the thanks I get. I can't name you how many people purchased Run8 or purchased eventually. I've probably helped. I've had, put it this way, there are guys, I can tell you right, and I'm not saying that you wouldn't find it out through somebody else anyways, and neither with others. One prominent person, oh Jesus, I can't think of his name. We used to run together. Oh yeah, Michael Phillips. He's over on the Depot forums now. He was with me running TD3, and I got him into Run8. There was many others that somehow my YouTube at the time used to get a lot of hits. I was one of the big players at one time, and that's how the channel grew. That's how people, wanted to see more Run8 content. And there's people that wish I would go back to Run8. There's people that wish that I can just get into Run8 and just run this region, run that region, do this, do that. I just don't feel like it. There's times where I just don't feel like it. If there was a server or a session, yeah, I'd probably go with that and I'll live stream it. But even some of the sessions are, yeah. So Run8 America was not so kind, and I agree. And oh, I know the Bakersfield Sub, and honestly, Bill, that's something I may consider doing it. The the thing is, I even want to go smaller than that, though. I would prefer to even go smaller, believe it or not. And this is why I kind of mentioned the Oakville Sub, although technically the Oakville Sub. See, I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm open to the idea, and if at some point it fancies me, I may go for it. But right now, it just doesn't. It doesn't. It doesn't. I know the thing of running a sub and trying to run a host. Yeah, I can do it, and a few others would join me. But when you run a limited area, the problem is there's a lot of people that will not partake in it. Yeah, so there's a lot of people that won't partake in it. So, but anyways, it's 10:55. I gotta start wrapping things up here. All I can say is, if people are busy with their lives or whatever, and can't post blogs or can't post. First of all, I've never been critical of them not posting every single detail of their lives. But if you're a company trying to make money or keep your people interested, and I'm talking about everybody. I'm not talking about just the people that you frequent on forums and that are buddy and putting you high up in a pedestal and telling you how great you are. I'm talking about your customers. Those, if you're just listening to the people that are telling you how great you are, you're missing a lot of your people. Because if you just listen to the people who tell you how great you are, or who don't speculate, or who don't come up with critical ideas, and I don't get me wrong, Run8 is very good at listening to other people's ideas, including mine, and implementing them. I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that constructive criticism. I'm talking about constructive criticism that says that there's something you are doing that may not be, the best for this. That's all. And here's an idea that can make it better. That's constructive criticism. Speculation is not looked at very well. I don't know what it is about speculation that is so friggin'. Hey, if you don't have information out there on a regular basis, and I'm not talking about every little update, posting a message, just how long does it take? How long it takes me to post a freaking message? How much do you think it took me to post a message on transom? I mean, it's nothing. Updating a website doesn't take much either, I can tell you that much. It really doesn't. But I mean, why would I go to the Run8? I remember when version 2 was coming out, I just kept on kept on going to Run8's site. I kept on checking it every single day. I was into all the sites, all the Facebook groups, all kinds of things to try to get as much information as I could about it. I don't feel that right now. I haven't felt that in probably 2 years. Because any type of excitement about version 3, that died off a long time ago. I could care less about version 3. I'm not worried about version 3. Version 3's got to sell me. Version 3 has got to be something I'm going to want to spend money on. Just like the Roots. I don't have Seligman Sub. I don't. Bill's talking about Bakersfield Sub. Well, guess what? I'm not buying Bakersfield Sub because I bought Oak. And I'm not saying that I wouldn't because of that. I may at some point consider it. Oak Creek. Oak Creek I bought and I never used. Seligman Sub, never bought it. So those are the two subs right now that I do not have. I don't have Bakersfield. I do not have Seligman. LA was gifted to me. Everything else, except the original version 1 as part of the beta team, I have purchased. And I purchased additional copies for my server at the time. So no, I've had like I said, I got my money's worth a long time ago, but I have invested money into this. Have I bought every single add-on car? Absolutely not. Because I don't need to. And what I'm interested in buying is not waiting for version 3 to come out and spend money on that. I'm interested in the next region. Give me a route that has an update that is a different region. Can they do it? I don't know. I thought they said they could. I think they mentioned it a couple of years ago, but who knows? I'd be told that they never said that. Maybe they didn't. I thought they did. And I'm not going to even bother fact-checking or going back to what my memory remembers. Just like I remember about the editors. I remember something being talked about it, like, hey, maybe it'd be a good idea to open up the editors or something. Or open up some of the editors, or I don't know what it was. But I was told I was a liar then, or that I never said that, or he never said that. I'm like, okay, well, whatever. And I wasn't going to worry about it anymore. Not a big deal. Everything that was posted tonight, I have no reason to believe that it wasn't factual. Because guess what? It was information from the horse's mouth. I don't need to go email John every time I need a fact. I don't need to go join the most popular forum to find out the latest information about Run8 because that's where they frequent. I don't need to do that. First of all, I have no interest in being on Run8 Depot. I got nothing bad to say. I think Run8 Depot is fine. They're a great resource. They're a great community. But I have no reason to have to, it didn't fit me. And I'm not of the mentality that if you can't beat them, join them. Maybe one day I will be. I'm not that bored. There's plenty of other things in life other than train simulators, believe me. So, away from keyboard again, I'm going. But, so, anyways, it's 11:02. I want to get some sleep tonight. My throat's probably a mess by now. So, I'm going to end this now. I probably shouldn't have got on my tirade anyways. I could have done it. I probably would have been better off doing other things, but I figured I felt better getting that off my chest. And let the haters or whatever, or those, either haters or critical or don't understand what I have to say. I got an email too. I got private messages. If people want to reach out to me, if they got a personal issue or think that I should come to them or that we should communicate more or something like that. I don't know. To me, speculation is not a big deal. Speculation, when absent, when there's not information readily available, is very, very common in entertainment, period. You look at the people who, whatever movie's coming out, I'll give you the perfect example. Star Trek. You want to talk about speculation. Holy crap. People speculate all the time about what the next movie's going to be or what this is going to be. And sometimes they go off on wild tangents and they hear rumors or they think this is happening, and because they heard this actor say this and all that other crap. This is nothing. I mean, a little fish like me, because people might get my YouTube come up about a Run8 video because I have a history of having Run8 videos and I'm in danger. Guess what? There's a simple way of achieving that. Find somebody who's a content creator. There's a lot of good content creators out there who are very, very pro Run8, who are very who will abide by Run8's publicity agreements or whatever the hell it is that they want their image shown. You can find people that can create content who can speak on behalf or give updates. They say, oh yeah, we don't have time because we got lives and all that stuff. People. There are people out there who can post on the behalf and can be trusted to give information once in a blue moon. If we'd have to wait, we get one post a year publicly on something. I mean, it's better than nothing, but man, I'm supposed to be excited about version 3. Are you kidding me? Why would I be excited about version 3? You know what I mean? It's the companies. If a business wants to grow, you have to, number one, you have to please your entire audience, not just the people who like you, but those that may like you but have reservations but are still willing to give you a shot. You also want to get people and win back people that you might have lost. So there's a lot of people out there. Just because people gave up on you and went to go to high, greener pastures, doesn't mean they won't come back. You take professional wrestling, for example. Professional wrestling. I'm a big pro wrestling fan. They're constantly trying to bring back their audience. That's part of business. They want the market share. They want to bring back people. But the biggest thing, you want to bring in new buys. You want to bring in new people. The best way to do that is to have content and information. Information and content is not the responsibility of guys like me who do not work for a company, who are not bound by anything, even though I'm supposedly bound by something, but who have to go out there and email people to get information. That's not my job. I'm not bound to report on information that I'm speculating on or to get the facts. I am not a media outlet. I am a fan. I am a Run8 fan or a Run8 enthusiast. So don't let the Run8 bugs. Don't worry, I'll sleep fine now that I got this off my chest. Hey, is this the new Plenty of Fish? What? Plenty of Fish? I don't get that one. What the hell? I know that's a dating site, but I'm just like, what? I gotta send I gotta send emails to everybody. That's right. Okay. Yeah, but no, it's you wanna be be big on this. I mean, go out there and please the people who love you. It's great to have free publicity, because then the people who really love you and really love what you're doing and they're ecstatic, guess what? They can produce content for you. I don't see a hell of a lot of content. I do see some content, but I don't see a hell of a lot of Run8 content out there on the YouTube. Maybe I don't look for it because I produce it myself. I don't look for Run8 information. I don't look at their website anymore. It's like their website hasn't changed in ages. Maybe it has recently. I think I was there a month ago, but I don't know. I don't care. Why would I go to the Run8 website when they barely update it once a year, if that? Hey, if there's a new update come out, guess what? Somebody's going to tell me. I'm going to hear it on transom. I'm going to hear it from somebody. I will hear it from somebody. I'll get that information. If there's some news of something coming or a new information update, guess what? I'm going to hear it too. I don't need to keep going to the website. And the website isn't giving me information or stuff there. You know, you can have people that can produce a lot of content. They have a YouTube channel. They have 2 videos, I think, on it. Okay, I guess they don't have time. Do they have somebody who has access to can upload for them? I don't know if they can do that, but they can certainly support or link to fan channels who are more supportive or in line with them. You know, if you want to sign, they can have them. They like agreements and all that other thing. Go have a legal binding agreement with somebody to be I don't know, your publicity wing or something. Best of all, don't pay them. Just maybe give them a gift once in a while or something. I don't know. Whatever. Give them a discount on the next purchase of Run8, or I don't know. Whatever. There's a lot of ways to entice people to. There's a lot of people who will give information for free. I would give information for free. I mean, I give information for free anyways, and I'm not in an agenda. I want to see Run8 succeed. Period. I really do. But I don't think me speculating or posting information or posting a message about an elephant in a room and thinking, well, maybe this is the reason why, that's all of a sudden going to deter people. First of all, you're not already aggressively attacking your market, because you're not going after your base, you're not going after your diehards, and you're not going after the new user. You are doing nothing. But yet, guess what? Despite the fact that they do nothing, they still have new people coming on board who are tired and have not seen alternatives. They're tired of the crap that Transom World puts out, or Dovetail and whatever else they're putting out. Maybe they're tired of the crap of the other ones, and there's really nobody out there that is giving them any viable alternatives. So they come to Run8. And when they come to Run8, there's the information. I'm in trouble, folks. The elephant went too far because something I have only spoken about on your wiki. Well, that's because the people are on the wiki. If you look at my wiki, you'll see you'll see there's somebody who's obviously let the team know, and I've always known that. It's not a big deal. I'm not a private forum. I don't have membership here. I used to have private things back when I ran a server, so. I mentioned fish in emails. I did? I mentioned email. I don't remember fish. Fish? Was I talking about fish? Oh, big fish. Oh, I'm sorry. Gotcha. Now I know. Okay, I got it now. I'm the little fish. That's right. Ah, Jesus. Yeah. Yeah, yeah, I know you with your with the 32-bit thing and all that other stuff, and that, yeah, whatever. Who cares? Not a big deal. So, yeah, fun continues. It's never ending. I swear. Anyways, it's way past my bedtime now, so I've had sleep issues as it is, so I'm nice and calm, cool and collected right now. But and that's how passionate about of Run8 I am. I'm willing to go past my bedtime and speak about this. I don't have an agenda. It's not about an ego. It's not about anything else. It's not even about being right. It's about wanting Run8 to learn. Like learn your. I don't know. They got a great. They have all the tools, all the gifts with the art, all the gifts with the beautiful simulation that they have. Best simulator on the planet. They've got this beautiful piece of software that, yeah, it's got some issues going on the bigger it gets as far as I'm concerned, but hey, it's still the best simulator on the planet. And I think it's just resource issues right now for most people, for anybody, and for most people they don't even notice it. If you're on a server and you're not running in graphics and you got that little box checked, and you got a big, powerful enough machine, you can run a server no problem, and you're probably not doing all the crazy crap that I'm adding to it. And I add a lot of crazy crap to it because I push Run8 well beyond its limits. And I don't do it purposely to crash the thing. I do it for information. I do these dummy tracks to get information so that I know how much cars are in each yard. Then I export it to Excel. Then I can put in reports. Then I can run my own programs. Then I can create my own software. I can do all kinds of things. Well, guess what? You can only go so far with that because Run8 will not like it when you have too many industry files, because that's when things start going wrong. And that is a resource issue. It could be my system, could be my system's not the greatest, who cares? Maybe it's my system, but I hear other people are having the same issues, so who knows? Ah. They're not as stupid as Ralph. Why would they no, they're not gonna sue you. No. I like that. Pull a Ralph. Yeah, for those wondering what the hell are you talking about? It was like Ralph wanted to sue me for libel or some horse shit like that because I called him out. But yeah, whatever. But anyways, now the only reason why I'm 16 minutes after my bedtime right now is because I want Run8 to succeed. Run8 is existing. Run8 can be better. Run8 can do a lot of things. And that's what the constructive criticism, that's what fans do. Fans speculate. It's not a big deal. If you got people speculating about your product, that's a good thing. It's not a bad thing. And even if the speculation is inaccurate, that's why you go out there and you post a message like you did tonight. Except you don't you don't make a mockery of the people who are speculating. Clear the rumors, state the facts. And I mean, John's got a sense of humor. He's got a dry sense of humor like me, so yeah, I'm not offended by it. But yeah, I know we all want it to succeed. Not a big deal. But anyways, it's just if you're not into that inner circle, honestly, if you're not in part of that inner circle, and Scott knows it, Quincy knows it, we all know what this inner circle is all about. We've known it for ages. And the inner circle changes. It changes quite a bit because, all of a sudden fighting will begin and then alliances break up and, the next Ralph comes along and, whatever. right now there's nobody as an issue like a Ralph. Like for example, if Sean's the big fish. Okay, not me, Sean. Sean, as in Run8 Depot. He's the big fish. Here I go talking about fish again, Scott. Long live TSW. Long live TSW. What the hell? Yeah, oh yeah. I love talking about TSW. God. I gotta go to bed. But oh man. So yeah, Sean, who's Run8 Depot head honcho, he's there's I got no issues with him whatsoever. He's an asset to the community. Ralph was an asset to some, but a detriment to many, as far as I'm concerned. And he's gone. He's been gone for a while. The problem isn't. I didn't have the problem with Sean. What I had the problem with was a lot of his administrators. Some people were just on like total ass kissers to the Run8 team, and would carry out their don't speculate agenda. Speculation has been, I don't know, it's been a lot. It's like, what the hell is with speculation? You know, I for years I've had this, oh, you can't speculate, you can't talk about Run8, you can't, like, give it a rest. This is how you get negative publicity. I wouldn't have been on here tonight bitching and moaning about it had I not seen that tonight. I wouldn't have cared. I would have done other things. I wasn't even going to... I wasn't interested. I was just like, yeah, well, Run8's Run8, whatever. In my words, I'm nothing. You know, honestly, I am nothing. There was a time where my ego used to say I was something. Oh, I was the first this, I was the first, you know, I was the longest running, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, all this other stuff. I was the first 24/7 by 24 hours when Ralph decided to go 24/7, even though he was the first one to go anarchy 24/7, and, or sorry, he was the first one to go anarchy, and then I went, I upped the ante and went anarchy 24/7. Then he went anarchy 24/7 24 hours later, and that was about it. And speculation is human nature, but yeah. So there's an inner circle. Yeah, no, the it's not an inner circle, so to speak. I think it's a very, very large, tight knit group of people who are very supportive of Run8. You know, it is what it is, and that's fine. Um, I just think they're sensitive to criticism, and that's unfortunate. But you know, I can't say. I can look in the mirror. It's kind of strange because in many ways, John and I have very similar. I take things personally, and sometimes I'm not very good for criticism either. So, but I don't I don't have a business, and neither is he really. I guess he's the head or was the head or something. I don't know, but whatever. Yeah. Anyways, I'm gonna get a cough drop. I'll let you guys chat for a few minutes. Oh, my throat is gone now. Ooh. Uh-oh. I need cough candies. That ain't good. I think I got one at work. Oh, tomorrow's Wednesday. Good. I get to do groceries tomorrow. I'll last tomorrow. Oh boy, so yeah, sorry guys. This is why I don't like talking and doing live streams late at night, because then my voice goes. I end up problems sleeping. Yeah, information is crucial, exactly. And they can control the information. They have all the power to control the information. They have to be able to control the narrative. But they don't see it that way. And that's fine. And none of this takes away from how great Run8 is. None of it does. Nothing here should prevent somebody from purchasing Run8. Run8 is not broken. Okay, let me be very clear about that. Run8 is not broken. Run8 is being pushed to its limits as far as I'm concerned. Naturally. So if you get the minimum specifications, you may run into some issues, but you should be able to run it. If you have a higher end computer, you'll probably be a little bit better. If you get every region and every route, and you're trying to host your own little server or just run your own little single player, you may run into issues. May. Not saying you will. I can't say that. They do their beta testing, they do their thing. I don't know what their beta testing is. I haven't been part of the beta testing team in ages. So I don't know. But that's why I quit on Train Simulator. Yeah, I used to call it explosions in Run8, and that's got me in hot water when I would talk a lot about the explosion, and they used to be very, and I knew they knew about it. I knew they would do something about it. It wasn't that they wouldn't. It was just very frustrating. And I think that's what first got me into hot water, really, was that I was trying to find ways, and then I found a way around it, and I showed an explosion happened. I laughed. I remember I was doing a live stream or I was doing YouTube or live stream. I don't think I was even doing live streams then. I think I was just recording and editing, and I saw the explosion. And mm-hmm. Oh, you got, yeah. But no, it's just, yeah, yeah, we've had, all of us have had different issues or whatever, but if anybody asked me if they recommended a train simulator, I would tell them Run8. In fact, I still recommend it to people. People are, I'm trying to remember, and I recommended it very recently to somebody. Because they asked me if I was doing this or doing that or whatever, and I said, hey, I says, have you ever checked out Run8? I do it all the time. I said, go to run8studios.com, www.run8studios.com, or whatever the hell it is. I says, if that's not the site, do a Google search, but there's plenty of information out there. There's yes, there's my YouTube, and I have more interest in talking about or reminiscing of the old times than really making new stuff. And there's some people that make new stuff out of it. It's, I'm probably looked at as bitter. I'm not bitter. It is what it is. There's things I would like for Run8 to achieve that I can't get, but guess what? There's nothing else that can get me where I can get with Run8 either. So then I go back to RTS, and then I think, okay, well, maybe I can do this in RTS, and maybe this will work. And then I have other ideas. Then I have ideas outside of Run8. I think I can do this, I can do that. Then I get into my own little health issues. Wow, 11:29 already. Ha! Oh my god. Okay. I'm finishing this cough candy. I'm going to end it here. So. Okay, Scott, you're off track, or whatever the hell he's... You were the very first. You were not, were you? Did I boot you? I didn't boot you. My server's dead. Maybe that counts for something. Oh my god. Oh. Okay, guys. I gotta go to bed. I gotta finish this candy. Now that my throat is recovering. Because I already got a bit of a cold as it is, and yeah, so. But anyways. Okay, guys, I'm gonna end it here. So, yeah, thanks for joining and hearing my little soapbox. I'll probably go on check Train Sim out before I go to bed. See what more crap I got myself into. Anyways, I think I'll just hang low for a while. I've said what I need to say. I don't need to get into a discussion with everybody. Like, whatever. Got better things to do with my time, to be quite honest, but I figured I'd just get that out of the open tonight, and that's all I got to say about it, to be honest. I got really nothing more to say about, with Run8 or whatever. Best train simulator on the planet. Got my money's worth a long time ago. I don't know how many times I gotta keep saying that. I'd recommend this to anybody. Anybody who's watching this and they don't have Run8, check out some of my older videos. Check out other content out there. There's other YouTubers out there who do a great job showing sessions, showing all kinds of things. There's a lot of information out there. Might not be for you. Maybe it is, maybe it's not, but I strongly recommend it if you're looking for a prototypical simulator that does it better than anybody else. They say as real as it gets. To some extent, it's as real as it's going to get for anybody else. Put it that way. My whole as real as it gets. I wanted to get it even more as real as it gets. That's my mission. I've always wanted to get it as more real as it gets. That's what RTS has always been about. I want to add the operations. I want to add, and not just the basic operations. I want to be able to get it to be even better. I want the experience to be even better. I want to have trains run. I love these big worlds. I wish the big worlds could run to the AI. That's a lot of you're talking about a lot of resources though to run all that AI and do the things on some of these big worlds. I would love to see it, but it would take quite a bit to accomplish it. probably a second computer running in the background. But anyways, okay, breathe. So I'll sleep good tonight, hopefully. As real as it gets thus far. Yep, absolutely. Couldn't say better. Okay, good night, guys. Well, have a good one. I'll talk to you later.